There's been a lot of upsets in 2023. Will Stipe Miocic be the next one over Jon Jones? See who fighters are picking in the latest edition of MMA Pros Pick.
I'm not sure how he'll do against Stipe. I think Jon Jones is going to wrestle fuck everybody. Right? You know what I'm saying? His wrestling is miles ahead of everybody I've seen in there. And, I think he's one of the best fighters in the world, but I just don't know what type of chin he got to be going against heavyweight. So I think he'll beat him up and he wrestle.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I think you have to give it to Jon, in this performance that he had. But I think for Stipe, a guy who's been off for so long, he was the DC fight, the last DC fight that he had when we were preparing for him with Francis. He did a lot of really, really good things in that fight and changed up a little bit of his footwork. He was doing a lot of like mixed lead stuff and stance switches in motion. I was very impressed with what Stipe was implementing. And then for us, it was a part of our game plan on how to shut that down or how to nullify that. But with that being said, I think he was onto some good things, man. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with Jon. I wouldn't say that the wrestling necessarily cancels each other out. I think Jon can out wrestle anybody if he really wanted to. But I think, Stipe is going to be a more formidable foe when it comes to the takedown defense stuff. So will this stay on its feet? I'll be interested to see that because Jon didn't look like he was that comfortable on the feet when he was going with Gon. I kind of, right away just looked like, let me just take this guy down, which smart, man. That was the blueprint, man. We laid it out for the guy. So he went in and executed it and got Gon out of there. No problem. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I hope these guys get through this camp healthy, and they're able to actually go in and perform because I think it's gonna be a fun fight.
I would never be stupid enough to bet against Jon Jones.
Jones all day. Stipe hasn't been fighting in a while. Stipe's not one of the biggest heavyweights, and skill for skill, Jones it's a more complete and it's a better fighter.
Jones.
I think Jon's the best. He's the best to ever do it. I hope he wins, remains on top, rides off into the sunset. If he wants to continue to do it, great. But yeah, Jon's the man. I have nothing but great things to say about Jon, and I think he's going to kill it.
Jones.
Yeah, I mean, Stipe's a great wrestler. I mean, well-rounded mixed martial arts. So that's probably why he has the record for the most title defenses. He's probably one of the best, most well-rounded heavyweights we've ever had. Great boxing, great wrestling. I mean, his submissions are a little, to be lacking, but that's a typical heavyweight, Against Jon, it's just gonna be hard for him. I think, obviously, he doesn't have crazy one-punch knockout power. So if he catches him, it's as far as striking, ability, and elusiveness, you would think that Ghani would have been a much more difficult fight. We saw how Jon once again uses his long kicks to keep you at bay, and the minute you make a mistake, boom, it grabs you. And I think that if they were going to wrestle each other, I've trained with Jon. I've trained with people that are world-class wrestlers who've trained with Jon. If Jon had gone a different route in life and he'd gone to a Division I college, he'd been an NCAA champ in heavyweight, and he would be the Olympic gold medalist. Not doubt in my mind. That's how good of a wrestler he is. And so, with that being said, he grabs and snatches Miocic up, and then just Miocic is fighting off his back the whole time. And I've never seen Miocic there. I don't think that he's not used to being there. And I think that we've seen that he obviously just. If I had to take a glimpse, he doesn't like submission grappling. He doesn't train that because every time he had Francis in a position, he wanted Francis gas. He never even once tried to initiate a choke. Never once looked for any kind of way to just damage a joint. It was just ground and pound. So that thought goes, all right, well, if you don't do it from the top, you probably don't do it from the bottom. So you're probably going to be a fish out of water when Jon puts you on your back.
But MMA is MMA, right? Everything can happen. But likely see Jon Jones winning the fight.
Jon Jones.
Man, Jon Jones. He's literally the GOAT, one of the GOATs. And you can't take anything away from that guy. Every time he goes out there and he performs and he puts on a show and he does so well. And I don't know, man. I just think it's a lot for Stipe to deal with when it comes to how well-rounded Jon is. I would definitely give the edge to Jon on that one.
can you ever bet against Jon Jones? You know, like, man, you can't bet against that guy. You know, regardless of all the things he's been through in life, like as far as a fighter IQ and the things that he's done, Jon Jones got to get it done. And I think that goes back to the ring rush thing, right? Like Jon Jones has been back in there, I think twice since
just
he's
the
been
one
in. He's
fight.
fought just one. Okay, I thought twice since Stipe, but just once since Stipe. You know, so I mean that was the whole thing. Is like who's gonna be able to show up and be ready to fight. You know, and Jon Jones has felt that. And even then, when you look at him and how he's come back from multiple times off, he always comes back and looks fresh. So I think Jon Jones gets it done.
And I like Jones.
Okay, there we go. A lot of people do. Yeah.
Man, I don't think I'll ever root against Jon Jones. I think Jon Jones gets that done for sure. That's really the GOAT of my era. So I definitely have to go with Jon Jones for that one.
You can't see past the GOAT, regardless of what the back catalogue of Jon Jones is with regards to rap sheet. He's still the greatest MMA practitioner the world has ever seen. Beating guys at wrestling, beating them at striking, it does not matter. He can do it all, and I can't see MD other than Tom Aspinall giving him that fight that he's looking for. And I think that's going to be the fight after Tom sees off Gain and that victory. Then I see him going towards fighting Jon Jones. But Jon Jones, MD else in that top 10, I see him flatlining him. And if you see the way he handled Gain in that last fight, it was night and day. So it's going to be Jon Jones the goal.
Jon Jones, man, he's the GOAT. Jon Jones all day. Stipe's been out for a long time. I feel like Stipe's the slower fighter. I feel like Jon Jones is the smarter guy. Jon Jones has some momentum behind him, and yeah, just Jon Jones.
Jon Jones. I think Jon Jones is just, like, again, different level, different kind of athlete. And I love Stipe, but I think he's just a little bit past his prime. And Jones, I think, is just going to be the better man that night.
Jon Jones.
Jon Jones.
Stipe, Ohio.
Gosh, I'm obviously huge fans of them both too. I wish it was about 4 or 5 years earlier for Stipe, but I do think a lot of people are going to count out Stipe. I remember back in the day, I was at Stipe's gym and I watched him fight a world champion boxer for 10 rounds. He knows how to box and he knows how to pace himself, and he's a good wrestler. He's not going to go out there and fall down like cereal gone. So I think it's going to be a great fight, but I don't think anyone's going to beat Jon Jones.